Hi, we hope everyone is doing well today. We really appreciate the board taking the time to view our presentation, and we hope we can show what it's going to take to launch our business in China. First of all, I want to introduce the team that was a part of this committee. First of all, we had Briggs Kellogg, then we had Casey Chandler, Josh Richardson, and Wesley Cottom. And I just have to say what a privilege it's been to be on this committee and a part of this group. We've worked really hard and we've done a lot of research, and we believe this research is going to help us to be able to penetrate China and to be able to start doing business over there. There's a couple things we're going to do today. We're going to go over some of the economic and culture issues we're going to face in China, and then we're going to show you 3 products that we believe and have done research to show that these are products that we can start to sell in China, and they can be a long-term investment in the country of China. And we believe we can penetrate market share over there. And so, first of all, what we want to look at is the culture of China. As we can see, the differences between the United States and China, there's some pretty big differences. And we're going to need to understand the culture of China. Number one, I think the biggest difference is individualism, which means China is not very power hungry, meaning they want to do what's best for the group instead of what's best for the person. We need to understand that we're going to need to use the words we and us, and not I or our. We need to understand that our presentations are going to have to show that we want to do what's best for the country of China and their people, not just for a company or just for an individual. We're going to really need to demonstrate our long-term commitment to the country of China, and that we want to be there for the long term. We want to have a product that lasts and that will benefit the economy and the good of the Chinese people. And we need to make sure we understand their culture. What's normal for us is not going to be normal for them. And we need to make sure that we understand what it is that they are looking for, and we need to build relationships according to that. We need to make sure that we take the time, we're patient, and we build those relationships. We're not just going to be able to jump right in and meet with the leadership of the upper leadership of the organizations. We're going to need to build our way up to that, and how we're going to do that is by building those relationships. As we look at some negotiation strategies, we need to make sure that we develop a plan that shows China that we're there for the long term, that we want to be an instrument to help the economy grow and to help the people. We need to make sure our travel plans are open-ended, which means we're there to not only do business over there, but we're there to do the extracurricular activities with them to grow those relationships. We need to get outside of the office. We need to get out and see some of their customs, some of their cultures, so we can understand better what it is that they expect from us. When we get over to China, we need to hire a very talented Chinese go-getter. We need to find somebody that's going to be able to work with us and to be able to help us understand what it is that is going to be demanded of us. We're going to be met with some very extreme demands, and we need to be ready for that. We need to be prepared. We need to understand what it is that they're going to look for, and we need to be able to demonstrate our level of commitment to them. A couple other just points I want to point out. There are some strategies that Chinese people use. They use, one of the big tactics is silence. I know over here in the United States, we're afraid of silence. We always want to break these silence. And when we're in negotiations with the Chinese, we need to make sure we don't have a knee-jerk reaction to silence. We need to make sure that we take the time, we understand what it is they're seeking, and to respond correctly. If we don't respond correctly, it could hurt us, and it could show that we're not there for the long term. We need to take the time. We need to be patient. We need to understand that this is a process, and we need to build these personal relationships so we understand what they're asking and we can meet those demands. Politically, as of right now, the Chinese government understands their economy is not in the best of shape. Their GDP is going down. Their labor force is going up, and they want to be able to make sure that they have the proper amount of imports and exports. They have reduced income plans, they have tax exemptions, and they have a few industries that they're really pushing. Some of the high technology, the use of renewable energies, and they want to protect their environment. China is partners in 14 different trade agreements. They have some regional economic integration. They are participants in 12 regional trade agreements. The one thing I want to point out is China exports a lot of products to the United States, and there has been historically a big gap between the imports into China from the United States and the exports from China to the United States. But the government is understanding, and the United States government is understanding, that we need to bridge this gap. And I think this is a great opportunity for us to help not only bring some products from the United States, and to also, start a business and actually build our business inside the country of China. And I think we need to understand those barriers and to make sure that we're doing it the right way. Just a couple of the economic and currency exchanges. Number one, I just want to point out a couple things on here, and we're going to look at some graphs here in just a second. But the Chinese GDP is not growing, and it's actually shrinking. And I think the government knows this, and so they're trying to throw some incentives out there to help get this GDP back up. The other thing I want to point out is the Chinese labor force is on the rise. And the government understands their labor force is on the rise, and they need to help meet this force. And then their interest rates, they're on the decline as well, because the government knows that they need to incentivize domestic investment. And we can look at the slides. Obviously, we can see the GDP growth and how fast it is shrinking. I think a part of this GDP growth is that other countries are fighting a little bit of the imports from China, because historically it's been hard to do business and to export to China. I think the government understands that. That's why they're opening up and being a part of these free trade agreements, because they understand they need to allow products to come in so that they can export products out as well. And then the other thing is we can see how much from 2014, how much the labor force is growing. And this is a huge issue. China needs people working, just like the United States needs people working. And I think the government understands that. And then we can look at the interest rates. 2012, they were pretty high. 2013, and then they just all of a sudden started dropping in 2015, which shows that the government is all in on helping the country grow. Now we want to look at a couple of our products. We have 3 products we really feel strongly about that we can really penetrate the market in China. Our first one is a biomedical patient bedside fan. And what this does is it's a fan to deliver airflow to the patients, and the patients can control. I think the biggest thing we see in medical facilities right now is, you walk into a room and there's not good airflow in these hospitals or these medical facilities, and the patients are hot, they don't feel good, and the room can really get to where it does not smell very good, and it's not pleasant to be in the room. And our fans, they're made from high impact material. They don't have a lot of moving parts, so they'll last. The hospitals and medical facilities can invest in these fans and have a pretty strong conviction that they will last and it will save them money. And it'll help the patient experience. The patients will be happier, they'll feel better, and the rooms will feel cleaner because the air is moving better. The need. There's nearly 30,000 hospitals in the country. Healthcare expenditures, just like everywhere, are on the rise. The hospital revenue gain is 163% over 2010. And I think trying to improve the patient experience is on the rise. Just having a floor fan isn't going to cut it anymore, as the needs and the competition of hospitals continues to grow. These hospitals and medical facilities need to have something to differentiate themselves from other hospitals, and these fans are a way that they can do it. Our units are easy to wipe down, easy to clean. Our competition, they must completely disassemble them and then reassemble them. When the fan breaks, they're thrown away. Our fans can be rebuilt and fixed if they need to. Our lifetime ownership costs are less than $200. Our competitions are over $500. So we have this great product that is cheaper, easier, better, and we believe that this product really can make a difference in China. Our second product is Renegade Race Fuels. Renegade is a brand new company. They've done a ton of research on fuel and what each engine needs as far as fuel. These fuels are engineered specifically and tested for each type of vehicle, whether you have a 2-stroke or a 4-stroke or it's a lawnmower, or you have a race car or a 4-wheeler or a UTV. And they're all non-ethanol fuels, which means they're better for the small engines. The need is there as the pump gas fuel is continuing to be added with chemicals and ethanol. The pump gas fuel is getting dirtier and dirtier, which is not good on engines. Good fuel can save a lot of money in repairs if you have good fuel. The competition, obviously, fuel pump is getting less and less common. Like I said, as more chemicals and ethanol and other things are polluted into pump gas, it really hurts the engines and really grows the demand for outside fuel. So I think our race fuel will be a great addition to China. Right now there's only one real dominant fuel in China and in the United States for that matter, but they just have octane-based fuels. And I think as Renegade Fuels continues to sweep the United States, there's not a dealer or distribution in China, and this can be a huge business and a product that we can take over to China. Our third product is a dietary supplement with high quality protein. It's important that we have high quality. It's made with 100% certified clean protein. It's FDA certified. It has 3 different great tasting flavors: chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla, and it's easy to mix with water. The demand, as the increasing middle class continues to grow, they want to be healthy. They want to consume good quality products, which pushes them to international protein brands. Our biggest competition will be the United States brands that are also trying to get into the Chinese market, because the Chinese want to buy foreign protein shakes. And I think as we continue, as we show in number 1 quality and number 2 price, we can really penetrate the market in the healthy protein shakes. We really appreciate your time today. We will be sharing this presentation. And if you have any questions, don't be hesitant to ask us.